Welcome everyone to game number 1. We have DauT playing towards the south in the blue color, as Mayans and Fire playing as Hindustan is up in the north. Let's actually try and change this as well. I always love to do that. So there we go. I'm really sure actually if didn't they cover freaking Andy win? Not really sure, big fan. I would prefer if somebody could whisper that to you, or if you could take a look at the Wikipedia page. You can get access to the Wikipedia page by doing ! Warlords. So we don't spoil it in the chat over here for anybody who might be watching YouTube later or whatnot. We did not cover that one ourselves, so I wouldn't really know. Regardless, I just realized, by the way, that I forgot to update the stream title. Let's do that. There we are. Beautiful. So Mayans for DauT, you know, he's a very, very strong player with the civilization. And sure, the civilization is good per se, but DauT is usually in team games, for instance, with Game of Legion, the one guy to be assigned the pocket position with Mayans whenever possible, because how good he is at it. Of course, in those situations, he is usually the guy to carry the game in the later stages of the game after he gets a very good economy and goes for eagles or pulling archers, right? In this scenario, in a 1v1, well, he's gonna have to defend himself until he gets to a position where he's gonna be able to take advantage of it. Otherwise, Fire should be, you know, should have a very real chance of potentially taking this game if he puts enough pressure and prevents DauT from taking advantage of the Mayans. I'm sure there is a Mrs. Doubtfire pun somewhere in this matchup. Most likely, gonna have to look for it pretty hard, but there's gotta be one. Militia's on the way for DauT. Alright. Nice. The militia on the way, and Fire. Fire's going for a barracks now, significantly later compared to DauT. So it doesn't seem like he'll be able to do too much in terms of defending himself, at the very least not on time. And DauT, well, it's gonna be putting a lot of pressure very, very soon. Here come the militias. And Fire's game sense is kind of tingling over here. Notices the scout hanging around a little bit too much over there. Now let's see if DauT can body block. That is kind of rough though. DauT cannot get the villager pick. But he does end up pushing Fire away from berries, at the very least some of the villagers. Villagers on the way for both these players, although Fire was able to click up a little bit earlier. There we go. That's trying to put extra pressure over here. It seems unlikely to achieve too much though in that regard. The walls already from Fire prevent DauT from doing any damage, so we'll see archers coming from DauT. That's the way it goes. He's playing Mayan, so of course it is. And Fire, on the other hand, he's coming in with this counter militia push. And with Hindustanis, he's most likely not going to go for camels. Now that's a very interesting position, because Fire is going to have the mobility, and DauT, if he gets a good amount of units, is going to have the better army, right? If he gets men at arms once he gets to the FULH as well. Gets 1 or 2 spearmen, then a few archers, could find himself with a very hard to stop army. One that's very similar to an army that we saw earlier today in one of the previous series. And we know just how good that can be, and that was actually Val's versus the Max, if I'm not mistaken. Nice quick walls though from DauT. He's got extra walls coming up around the berries, pulling one of the villagers away, but he should be able to defend himself over here just fine. He's just going to give up on it and walk away. Fire's trying to block the veil, and he got a little bit too greedy over there, but couldn't kill the villager in the end. So far, no kills from anybody. And DauT's getting the quick walls over here, so, or with maybe not the quickest walls, but he's getting the walls out, so it's unlikely Fire will be able to do too much. Blacksmith's up now from Fire as well. Minotaurs from both. HP pool a little bit higher for Fire actually. Yes, now that DauT loses a Minotaurs, Fire is looking significantly stronger. Scout might not be too high HP, but of course because we have Minotaurs from Fire, he doesn't need the scouts because at best DauT will be able to match him for Minotaurs, and then the scout from DauT is going to get completely shredded by the Minotaurs from Fire. Nice defense though, DauT's Archer. It's coming in clutch. This is what we were expecting to see. A transition to Archers for DauT for sure. And he does keep one of the Minotaurs, but this is not anywhere near enough. And this is not anywhere near as strong as the potential army composition I was talking about just a moment ago. I will keep on putting more pressure. It's got Archers, Skirmishers. In DauT, he's gone for Archers. He's not really gone for Skirmishers much at all. Here we are. Beautiful. Yeah, DauT's able to defend himself just fine, and Fire might risk over investing into military. He's been going pretty heavily into skirmishers for a moment over there, but now he's making a switch to Archers once again. And DauT's going to be the one going for skirmishers, defense the tower as well, which he kind of needs at this point. Doesn't really have enough units to defend effectively against Fire if Fire keeps on putting more pressure, right? But yeah, this is going to buy DauT some peace of mind. Mind you, this means that DauT's going to be stuck on 1 TC for the time being and into the future, unless he starts collecting some stone, of course. And Fire, well, Fire's got extra archers on the way. He's roaming around. He's gonna try to find exposed areas around DauT's economy, and DauT, he overchopped on the south. We'll see if he realizes about it. DauT's gotten a lot of extra idle TC time compared to Fire as well, so he's struggled to keep up with the hectic game so far. This should allow Fire to get ahead by a villager, and it's not so much the case because that civilization already begins with 1 extra villager.
Shot it.
Left hand side, market on the way, so DauT's gonna try to balance his economy. And he shouldn't really be in a much better position compared to Fire, despite playing Mayans, getting longer lasting resources. He's been reacting to the push from Fire so much more so than Fire's been reacting to DauT's push, so... In any case, DauT's just gonna be able to catch up to Fire, but he won't really be getting ahead anytime soon, at the very least, not by the looks of it. Fire instead, he seems like he's got almost enough resources to click up to the Castle Age. He's got about half the food. He's gonna start collecting some stone as well, so... Interestingly enough, it seems like Fire is gonna be thinking of going for Gulam. Going for the Hindustanis, Eagle Warriors. Anyway. Let's check this. Good pressure from DauT. Fire. He's not gotten just enough to go out to the castle age, but he does have a lot of extra food workers compared to DauT, so it shouldn't take too much longer than this. It most likely won't. Here we go. This is good though. DauT being able to get a villager over here is much more than he should have been able to get away with, and it seems like he's gonna be able to go up to the castle edge faster than Fire. How on earth is Fire going up so much later compared to DauT? It's blowing my mind. He had much better economy. He was completely uncontested for the longest time. DauT even ended up getting a lot of extra this time as well. Let me take a look to see the gather economy time. Okay, DauT looked better than Fire in that regard, which I do find very interesting, and that's definitely something that I was not expecting at all. But yeah.
Shot it.
Counter push coming in from Fire. Again, but unlikely to achieve too much. There's only 2 archers over there against the skirmisher. DauT should be able to clean this up. He's got some Eagle Scouts as well. There is a second barracks coming up for DauT, indicating an Eagle transition. This is something we see with American civilizations 9 out of 10 times. While Fire himself, he's got 2 archer ranges, and he's gonna keep on going for archers. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this. DauT, by getting a good amount of Eagle Scouts over here once he gets to the castle edge, and because it's gonna be there faster, will dominate Fire by going for the Eagle Warrior upgrade. Their barracks already up for DauT as well. Good defensive tower from Fire. He's been collecting stone quite heavily, so we'll see the castle come up very soon in DauT. Well, DauT's got 8 Eagle Scouts. He's going for chain mail armor. He's going for Eagle Warrior. If he brings the units forward, he might be able to prevent Fire from dropping a castle at all. However, there is some defending, that he's got to do over here as well. That's a lot of archers from Fire, but DauT should be able to clean these up soon. And that means that Fire, if he's able to keep these eagles forward, then he'll be in a position to drop the castle in the end. He does have the castle coming up on the left-hand side. DauT's coming over. Fire's paying attention and he reacts. Quick walls. We might see a villager still go down right here from Fire. However, the crosses are going down as well. So this is really good for DauT. He's getting a substantial population lead already. It seems to me like he should be able to get more and more villagers over here. Man, that is a lot of damage the DauT's getting done over here with a very small amount of units. I mean, take a look at how little damage the Eagle is taking over here. He was fighting against the villagers. He ends up getting about 3 villagers before going down, and this is just remarkable from DauT. Counter push over here from Fire doesn't really find too much in terms of eco damage, although DauT does end up losing 1 villager over there. It's going to be just 1 compared to the 9 villagers that Fire has lost so far, many of which were in the last push, as part of the last push from DauT. So we see the golems come out. DauT's gonna keep on going for more Eagle Warriors, and the thing is, he's got triple barracks, right? And there's only 1 castle for Fire to produce, and a smaller economy for Fire as well. Let's see if he can get extra vills here. He cannot, as long as the golem are chasing the eagles. He's not really gonna be able to freely raid over there. Well, he shouldn't be able to anyway, but it seems like... Yeah, he gets pushed away. He wouldn't be able to get any villagers over there. Shouldn't be able to. Squire's coming in for DauT. Beautiful. 9 golem for Fire. 23 Eagle Warriors for DauT. 10 monks. Plus 2 TCs already up for DauT and the 3rd TC on the way. This is just... Oh boy, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous from DauT. The lead that he's getting right now is so massive that he's more than offsetting for the cheaper villagers that Fire is getting, right? And Mayans, because they get longer lasting resources, their economy is super strong too. There we go.
Tabish.
We might see extra villages go down over here if Fire's not very careful. And DauT's got the second group of Eagles coming in. So this is what I'm talking about. Production potential is simply so much higher for DauT because he's able to produce from more than just one castle at a time, right? And Fire can only go for Gulam over here with a single castle. Nice quick walls though from Fire. Ends up cleaning up the Eagles over there. Well done.
Shot it.
DauT still though outproducing the... What was that? Did you see that? It kind of blinked. I'm just going to save the clip. I'm not really sure what that was about. I'm not really sure if that was an OBS or if that was in the stream, but... Anyway, yeah, that's still looking fantastic.
Shot it.
DauT's gotta be careful. Doesn't want to engage against a similar amount of Gulam. He wants to get more Eagles before he goes for the engagement. And now he's going for more Eagles. He's got a good amount of monks as well, so he can send these forward. Try to land some conversions. There we go.
Oh. Shot it.
Wheelbarrow.
Tabish.
The way now for DauT as well, so his economy is going to be even stronger. He's got the castle on the way, so we'll see some... Well, Plume Archers wouldn't really be the answer over here, but the castle is going to put him in a good spot to potentially go for conscription, and El Dorado once he gets to the next stage, right? Fourth TC coming up for DauT right now. Only now the second TC on the way for Fire. This is looking extremely one-sided, and it's been the case for quite a while already. The only reason that the game's still going is because DauT's actually struggled to get a good engagement against these Gulam that would allow him to clean the units up and go forward with some great momentum. Because even if he can go forward and try to raid, Fire's got the castle and the TC over here, which in conjunction with the Gulam make it very difficult for DauT to make the Eagle play work.
Shot it.
So once he's able to raid Fire's military, then DauT's gonna be left in a much better position. So let's take a look at this. We have the hill advantage for the Gulam over there. That is not a good engagement for DauT. Even if he ends up cleaning this up, he's gonna be left on such a small amount of units that is not really going to constitute a big momentum for him if he sends these forward. Plus, yeah, Fire, you know, he's got more Gulam right now than DauT's got Eagles. Holy moly. Plume Archers coming out right now for DauT as well, but Gulam will take care of both Eagles and Plume Archers as long as Fire can get a good amount of units, or he can keep a good amount of units out in the open.
Tabish.
Third to see on the way now for Fire as well. That's gonna be only for playing catch up. At this point in time, DauT managed to get a 38 worker lead over Fire. 39 right now, worker lead over Fire. And that's almost twice the villager count for the Bull player, so... Both are able to keep their TCs working. Obviously, DauT's going to keep on pulling further and further ahead as he's got 4 TCs compared to only 3 from Fire, and... You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see DauT go up to the Imperial Age very soon. Here we go.
Tabish. Ashike. Shot it.
Town Watch is coming in right now as well. For DauT, and I keep on seeing these white flashes. Going to clip that too. And then I'll take a look afterwards, see if To see if that's actually coming out on the stream or not. Anyway.
Ashike. आपकी सेवा में. आदेश.
Yeah, crosses obviously are not going to work from fire.
आदेश.
Wow, full archers are actually doing pretty alright from DauT over here because of the mobility. He's starting to get enough, or he's starting to save towards going up to the Imperial Age, by the way, the bull player. Well, fire, not even close, of course, utilizing 100% of his economy just to try and catch up to DauT over here. He's got the 4th EC. And the score lead is substantial. It will require some pretty heavy throw-in from DauT to lose this game, it feels like to me. Hey, Vardian. Hi, hi. Nice. Conversion's coming up too. Ballistics on the way for DauT. And he's getting close. He's gonna go up to the Imperial Age very soon. Fire not particularly close himself. And then on the back, now manages to get a few extra villager picks. This is huge. DauT's getting a lot of damage over here from taking the Golem down to getting villagers down over here with the Plume Archers. Not something you would be expecting to see too much now that we have these warriors into the, onto the battlefield from Fire. But DauT's unit's control has been really good this game. Has allowed him to get ahead, and if he plays his cards right, if he keeps on playing like this, he might be able to get a pretty straightforward set over here. We'll see. Second castle on the way for Fire, and DauT should be on his way to the Imperial Age already. Beautiful. Second castle, third castle, as a matter of fact, coming out for DauT. He already had the second one on the right hand side.
Shot it.
Namaste.
Imperial is on the way for DauT. Fire. Oh man, not anytime soon, by the looks of it. What has been your favorite set so far? I'm actually not really sure because we have had more than one good set today. Fire vs Valas was very good. What the Maya's gonna do versus Golem? Dominate. Once DauT gets to the Imperial Age, he'll get access to El Dorado. And with El Dorado, his Eagle Warriors will be so much stronger compared to Golem. But he's just making a play for full archers over here, and it seems to be working out. Golem will be very strong usually. Well, there we go. Fire calls a GG over here. He must realize how far behind he is. But yeah, Golem are going to work really well against Eagles, probably in even numbers. But with El Dorado and with a production lead for DauT, being able to produce from multiple barracks versus a small amount of castles, right, from Fire, he should be staying ahead with the Eagle versus Golem traits. And because of the mobility of the archers over here, the Plume Archers, makes it very hard for the Golem to get a proper surround. DauT was actually able to make the Plume Archer play work as well. Interestingly enough, despite the fact that both these players were kind of limited on the amount of units they could go for when going for Plume Archers and Golem specifically, right? But of course, that was a Halion Castle Count, so let's go and take a look at the achievements, and we'll jump into game number 2 in a moment. For the time being, DauT gets a better KD, 11 to 10 or so, a little bit higher than that actually, and for economy. Stronger economy, collecting well over 11,000 extra resources compared to Fire. Amazing performance for the Bull player, 1-0. DauT's on top, Fire, he's got to clutch it up. And game number 2 is here. Welcome everyone then. 1-0 in favor of the Serbian player. Fire, instead, down by 1 point. He's gonna have Dravidians for this one, while DauT's got Italians, and this is Baltic. This is the first time, I think, actually no, this is the second time that we see Baltic in this tournament from the cast, or from the games that we have cast anyway. Anyway. Thank God we have the extra villager start over here, otherwise it would take so long to get going. So what do we get for these civilizations? Give me a second, let me get some water. Thank you. So, starting with fire, Dravidians is a fantastic civilization for maps like this. Because they will get 200 additional wood upon reaching a new age, they'll be able to go for extra navy, or they'll be able to go for extra upgrades, right? And it's going to make it just a little bit easier for them to try to contest water. Then on top of that, they also get a 50% discount on barracks upgrades, although I do not really expect to see a Man-at-Arms push on this map. And then in addition to that, we'll see the Dravidians also get faster attacking skirmishers. That is not really too important, of course. For the team bonus, they do get extra population from each dock that they go for, so it's going to be worth a dock and a house, right? And DauT, interestingly enough, DauT's going to have fire beat to the water. It's got the first fishing ship queued up over here, and fire just got the dock. For that civilization instead, an incredible save for water maps. He's gonna get a 15% discount rather on fishing ships, a 35% discount on university and dock upgrades, as well as 20% cheaper gunpowder units, and a 15% discount to go up to the next stage. While for the team bonus, they also get access to condottieri from the barracks in the Imperial Age. So that's all good and dandy. In terms of the matchup, I think I'm liking Italians over here a little bit more. They have just been the perennial water civilization. So, yeah. I'm going to line with Italians for this one for the time being. But I'm pretty curious. The reason I was talking about the map generation is because Baltic can have several different map generations, and we have seen in the past something like this, kind of like a brain-looking lake. Is going to have a little bit of a stem, right? While sometimes it's going to be more of a like around the lake, and the players are going to be around it, right? And it changes because it makes going for land a little bit easier, a little bit more difficult. And over here is probably going to be a little bit more difficult, I guess, as the stem gets too far onto the right hand side. If you get water control and you get some navy units over here, you'll be able to control the crossing as well, the pass. In any case, village is coming up for both these guys. Fantastic. DauT does have a significant head start to it, though. Although it doesn't seem like he'll be able to go up to the castle age anytime soon, while fire is going up on 25 workers. Doesn't seem to me like fire will be able to go up to the castle age anytime soon either, so it's probably just going to be what players going for. Full water. Third dock is coming out for fire. Oh, but the villager gets spotted though! And seems like this is going to result in a villager loss. Yes, sir. Villager goes down. DauT gets first blood over here. Scout's gonna be left on little HP for the bull player, so he's gotta be careful not to run into fires. But he could potentially find another villager if he plays his cards right. What I'm fairly surprised about is that DauT is not going for a third dock at all, so he's just going for the fire galleys right away. He's got 2 docks, right? But no third dock, and now fire is going for the third dock, but DauT's realizing about this already. You take a look at his point of view and he knows. So he's trying to bring the fire galley over here to prevent this from happening, but it's not going to be possible. Fire galleys cannot target villagers through the dock, unlike galleys. So that's just dealing damage to the actual dock over here, and the third dock does come up for fire. Who will end up getting pushed away though? The fishing ships over here seem like they might end up going down. Nice. There we go. Good defense for fire, bringing his own fire galleys, and after all, he does have extra docks over here to work with, so He should be able to get a hit in military count, but Fire's unit control over here actually allows him to chunk a lot of HP off DauT's own fire galleys. And it seems like in the end it's going to be pretty close still. Hot damn, that was a lot of glitching. Did you see that? I'm not really sure. I keep on saying that, but maybe you didn't see it. Anyway, I'm just going to clip that once again, and I'm going to stop reacting to that, because if you cannot see it and I just keep on talking about it, I'm just going to look insane. Anyway. So far so good. DauT's actually still coming out on top. He will end up clearing out this fire galley, and fire is gonna be left in. And 2, 3 fire galleys. DauT's got 3 fire galleys, a demolition raft. But he does have a sneaky pair of villagers down the south, though. Getting an archer range up. He got the archer range up. He's got the first archer over here. And take a look at that. Fire knows. Fire knows. He spots the villagers as DauT gets the blacksmith over here. I think Fire was trying to go for a sneak himself. But now DauT might have realized about it too. So he's going with the archers after Fire's villages. I think Fire probably was not paying attention over here. And yeah, this is going to result in probably a few losses for the red player. In the end, Fire seems to be the one to get water control, and most likely DauT is going to end up losing everything over here. Fortunately for him, he did not really invest too heavily onto water, just 3 fishing ships. But with all the pressure that we have coming in from DauT on land, it might not be too much of an issue, because if DauT plays his cards right, he's gonna have enough units on land to put enough pressure to offset for the water lead from Fire. Right? So he's got the stable coming up over here. He already had archers, and now he's gonna start adding scouts into the mix. And the magic of this is that scouts and archers are the best feudal age army compositions. Not cheap, because Fire spent a lot of resources on water as well, going for extra navy units compared to DauT. That's actually able to get away, at the very least, with the initial batch of units. There we go. DauT's getting a villager down. Yes, sir. We'll probably see more villages going down over here from the red player, and DauT's got almost enough resources to click up to the castle age as well. He's dominating this game, despite losing water. How incredible it is that we say DauT is dominating this one when he got clearly pushed away. He clearly lost the water battle. But because of his sneak over here, he's actually looking much better compared to Fire, who's now kind of juggling his economy, trying to defend himself. He's got skirmishers coming out. It just scores good, but won't do too much against scouts. So as long as DauT stays far away from the TC, should be able to prevent the archers from taking too much damage. As if Fire fails from the TC with these skirmishers, then he becomes susceptible to DauT scouts. Extra archer range coming up for DauT on the right hand side as well. And Fire, well, Fire gave up on his sneak attempt, by the way. He just brought the villagers back that DauT started targeting, and so far he's been unable to do too much in terms of following up his land ambitions from before. Seems like DauT's on his way to the castle age as well, looking very strong. Might see another villager go down over here. And yes, sir! Another villager! 5 eco kills from DauT, which offsets for the fishing ships that he lost. Now, because Fire still has fishing ships, and DauT has not gotten more villager picks from Fire than Fire's got the fishing ships right now. Fire's still ahead in work account, but DauT, once he gets to the castle age, he's gonna get access to light cavalry. He's gonna get access to blocking arrow, crossbowmen. And Fire, I don't see a way for him to hold on against such kind of push from DauT. I don't think it's going to be enough for Fire to call it GG right there, because it's the this is the decider series, right? But it's certainly going to leave DauT in a pretty good spot still. Second group of archers from the north, putting pressure from DauT, taking a villager down, taking the defensive archer from Fire down as well. If he groups his army together as well, that's going to leave him on about 11 archers, soon to be crossbows. There we are. Beautiful watchtowers coming in. Beautiful. It's looking great for DauT. Once he gets a Mangonel out, or a few Mangonels out, should be in a much better position over here as well. This could be 2-0 in the next 5 minutes or so. DauT's gotten the upgrades that he needed for his army, right? And he's got a ram actually on the way, right away. From the Siege Workshop. So crossbows, rams. Oh boy. He cannot really bring the crossbows underneath the towers because we have 2 towers protecting each other simultaneously, but you know, he could end up taking... Okay, there we go. He's got the first ram come out. He's gonna go after the archer range first. And yeah, he could still get some villagers down over here if he targets the static ones, right? So there we go. Not the best targeting from DauT, but he still ends up pushing villagers away from resources, and Fire is getting a lot of idle villager time. Let's take a look at the gather economy time. Notice that DauT is ahead by about 5 minutes or so. He was able to get down the archer range over here, despite the fact that Fire is ahead in work count, right? Because of how disruptive DauT's push has been on Fire's economy. And he gets the archer range down, so next up is coming up on DauT's list of things to destroy is the TC, of course, and this is extremely important for Fire to keep up. He's going up to the castle edge. If he ends up losing the TC over here, it's gonna be absolutely tragic for the red player. Unfortunately though, trying to keep this up will result and does result in a lot of villager losses. He cannot keep on defending over here, guys. I think we are approaching a GG over here from the red player. I think we are within walking distance of the GG as Fire is trying to get the TC out, but even if he get the TC, he wouldn't be able to achieve much of anything in the castle age with his economy being so much smaller now that DauT's been taking veil after veil. The rams are moving on now from DauT onto the towers, onto the next TC. And honestly, I would love for him to just go up to the TC, but yeah, I understand him trying to get rid of the towers anyway. There is no rush, right? Fire needs to get the TC up and then kill the castle age again. So that's like, he's just chilling. He doesn't even have ballistics right now, but he doesn't need it because it's in such a good spot. Absolutely fantastic, and Fire's still not calling it. Here we go. Castle Age is coming up for Fire again. Seems like we are going to see a villager, actually sorry, the push over here from the left hand side from DauT. Why is he not targeting the TC? I have no idea, but he should be able to. And he's not going after it. 30C on the way for DauT. He was already on 2. 73 to 49 population, favoring the Serbian player. Towers going down. Fire on the right hand side. Yeah, good defense for Fire, I guess. He might get to the castle age, but yeah, once again, he's gonna be in a very precarious position anyway. Things looking pretty grim for Mr. Fire. And finally, the ram goes down. This is what Fire's got to work with right now. 2 towers and a TC. Half destroyed TC, right? And then this is his economy. He's completely surrounded by that. And then, sure, he's got some water control, or full water control rather, and he's got a lot of water economy going, but that's only going to be good for one type of resource. If he needs to go for gold, he doesn't have access to it. If he needs to go for stone, he doesn't have access to it. And wood is eventually going to run out as well. We don't really have too many extra trees left over here for Fire to collect from, of course. That's increasing pressure as well, so TC is going down in a moment. If it's not going down, it's going to represent a heavy investment, wood investment for Fire to just keep up. Much more so than what a new TC would cost, but of course because Fire doesn't really have access to stone, and I don't think he's got a market, he cannot really afford to lose the TC over here. Oh, he does have a market up in the north. Alright. It doesn't really have much else in the north. By the way, he's got a monastery and a siege workshop, so it seems like he's gonna try to smush DauT. But there's so much more damage that Fire would have to do just to be left in a similar position to DauT's. As Fire just lost the only TC that he had, and he's got just 2 towers over here to keep on defending his economy. It's a pretty bleak base for Fire. Meanwhile, up in the north, DauT's got 3 TCs. If he gets one of these destroyed, he just pulls his villagers over to the next 2, right? And he can potentially go for extra TCs over here as well. He's got a strong enough economy that he can use the market to go for an extra TC if he needs to. So the only reason Fire's still trying over here, despite this game being quite clearly over, at the very least from a spectator's point of view, is because this is his tournament. This is his opportunity, right? For the tournament, and that is BAM! A good shot from Fire. Well done. It's gonna take a few more like those for him to come back into this game. It's gonna take a few mistakes from DauT for Fire to come back into this game. But I guess that's a good one. Conversion on the way from Fire. DauT realizes about this push. He's going for knights. He doesn't really have too many to work with right now, so he could very easily get converted. We'll see. There we go. More conversions coming up, and DauT reacts on time. Yes. Okay, a villager goes down. He just needs 63 more like those to catch out to DauT's economy. The single mantle is going to be pretty difficult. For the mantle and Scorpion is going to be still pretty hard. And I'm not really sure. It seems like DauT's gonna... Yeah, DauT's gonna try and make a play for water. So he's been going for docks and he starts going for war galleys right now. If he gets water control, then Fire kind of loses the one thing that he had over DauT, right? And DauT's going pretty heavily into units. He's got fire ships, he's got war galleys. And Fire didn't really have too many units to work with before. He's got only 4 fire ships left and he's got 2 more queued up. His economy is simply not strong enough for him to afford everything. If he wants to go for this push forward, if he wants to hold on to water control, he needs a much stronger economy than what he's got right now. So DauT should be able to get water control over here pretty soon. Here we are. Nice conversion over here. Armor Elephant from Fire, unfortunately not really going to do any damage against actual units. Basically just a ram, right? So he loses the Mangonel, has the Scorpion still left, but that should be fine. Plus, 2 players getting full water control. 120 to 52 population. And yeah, Fire's just going to call the GG over here. It's been coming a long time. It's been coming a long time. So DauT gets game number 2. It's going to be 2-0. If I were the Serbian player, let's go and take a look at the achievements really quickly before we hop out and take a look at the next one. All right, so it's going to be a better than 7 to 6 KD ratio for Fire. But it did not matter because DauT ended up collecting about 60% or so extra resources compared to the red players. So he was able to produce a lot of extra units despite the fact that he was not taking quite the best or the best trades, right? So he offset by sheer production potential for the better engagements that Fire was taking this game. Higher villager count max for DauT as well in the end of the game. It's the same as the villager max count over here, so that's probably best case scenario. Or second best case scenario. With best case scenario being this 3 being the same value, right? But he ended up losing only 6 villagers, 3 fishing ships, and Fire Fire lost 21 villagers out of 47, so a meager amount of villagers he was able to go this game. And even a smaller amount of economy he was left on. And there we are, game number 3 is here. Fire with Huns, DauT with Japanese. Fire's got one of the most successful civilizations for this map. DauT, on the other hand, has got one of the civilizations with the highest potential for economy if he ends up getting perhaps more than just one pound, right? Predictions are open for this game number 3, actually, not game number 1. So sorry about the prediction title, but yes, you have 5 minutes to get your predictions going. Option 1 is gonna be DauT. Option 2 is gonna be Fire. That's about it. What to expect over here, though? Well, DauT's going to make a play for all pawns 100% because he's got Japanese and he gets 5, 10, 15, 20% faster working efficient ships depending on the age. Twice the HP and plus 2 pierce armor. He should be trying to control all legs to take full advantage of his faster working efficient ships. Besides that, he also begins with... Actually, he does get a 50% discount on drop of buildings, which means that he doesn't really... it's going to be smoother for him to go for the docks over here. He doesn't really need to mass quite as much wood. Besides that, Japanese will also get 33% faster attack and infantry units started in the field age, so we could potentially see a man-at-arms push. That'd be interesting. Fire, instead, playing with Huns, gets 10 and 20% cheaper cavalry archers in the castle and imperial ages. Begins with 200 population support, but 100 less wood compared to other civilizations, and he gets 50% accuracy on trebuchets as opposed to 15%. Well, for the team bonus, stables do work 20% faster for Huns as well. So, yeah, guys. Still about 3 minutes left, I think. 4 minutes left. 3 minutes left for predictions to come up. You can use your channel points, aka bones, to say who you think is going to win game number 3. Right now, odds are looking not the best for Fire, but that might be your chance to play the odds, you know. Anyway, I assume we'll see the fuel age come up very soon. We have already 21 population for DauT. He's got the first fishing ship out. Fire's got the first fishing ship out over here as well. And over here, well, it will be possible for players to make a play for fast castle. We have seen this in the past as well. Going for a fuel push can also be very good, especially if that allows you to go and contest some of the other pawns earlier, right? So for instance, Fire, if he goes for a sneaky dock on the right hand side, going out to the field age faster would allow him to get control over here, which is going to pay off in the end. It's going to take some time, but it will eventually pay off. Anyway, welcome you guys to those of you coming into the stream for the first time. Finding this only now. I hope you're enjoying so far. Big shout out to Memb for hosting this tournament, to Microsoft for sponsoring this, and to everybody for making this open streaming right so that we can provide coverage as well. Very much looking forward to the main event. So far, these are just the qualifiers, but next weekend we are going to begin with the main event, with the meaty stuff. The meaty stuff. Meaty stage. Maris coming in for Fire. Probably expecting to see militias come in. The reason I say that is because he's going for the barracks with 2 villagers as opposed to just going for 1 villager when he's a little bit closer to the fuel age. So there was no need for him to go for 2 villagers barracks. I think he probably took DauT's forward scout as a signal that DauT's got some militias on the way. And it is true, DauT does have some militias on the way. Fire does not have a single militia coming out just yet. He's gonna go and start collecting some gold. And DauT, he's got the man-at-arms upgrade on the way already. Could be really good for DauT if he's able to find a villager or two over here. He's going to go after the lumberjacks by the looks of it. Can the villagers see, by the way, the footsteps? I think they... Yeah, it did disappear significantly earlier compared to what it used to be like for the user patch version. And there we go! Fire knows. He knows about the Minotaurs. Reaction is swift. He brings the villagers over to the TC, pushes DauT's units away, and DauT doesn't seem like he'll be able to do much of anything over here with these units anymore, as this is blocked by a tree. Yeah, Fire didn't even need to go for the walls over here, but still. This would actually be really good for Fire to collect wood from inside here. Yeah, DauT. He's just roaming around. Going to the left-hand side this time around. That doesn't seem like he's gonna be under too much pressure himself too much. We have some scouts over here from Fire. DauT's got most of his villagers very close together. So Fire might be able to get a village down over here, but notice how DauT's reaction is going to be strong enough to push Fire away completely. And now, we will see one villager go down over there, the one that was left behind from DauT. Not quite! The spearmen are here from the bull player, and he pushes Fire away. Wow! Not a single loss yet. Not a single kill yet from anyone, and I really thought the Fire had something over there with the triple scout push. But yeah. In the end, in terms of water, it seems like both players will end up with 2 ponds under their control, respectively, as each, rather, right? So as we have the left and south ponds under Fire's control, and then the east and north ponds under DauT's control instead. That's going for the walls, and it seems like he's just going to try and play for the castle edge over here. He's got some archers coming out, but yeah, not much more of anything. And I do find it fairly interesting that DauT's going for fishing ships over here when he doesn't really have vision of the north. Then on the right hand side, I guess he does have vision of this area, so he's safely going over there for fish, but it's kind of risky for him to go just for fishing ships up in the north. Regardless though, a village is going down over here for DauT, and that's gotta be the second loss. First a villager kill from Fire, second loss from DauT after Fire took the spearman earlier, and now the villager. You will still have the spears for DauT, just as they are kind of out of position. The bull player cannot really go and finish the walls just yet. We might see a village go down over here. Let's see if Fire's paying attention. He's standing ground over there, taking a little bit too much damage from the spearman. He's going to end up losing 1 scout over there, taking a lot of HP losses. The rest of the scouts against the spearman, right? And that's going to be the spearman going down for DauT for sure. And he loses another villager, so better KD for Fire so far. He's been taking a lot of losses over here as well, and DauT shouldn't really be taking any more losses over here, at the very least. Yeah, it shouldn't be the case, but Fire does manage to find another villager to pull another kill from under his sleeve. And even still, despite the fact that Fire was the only player getting eco kills over here with 3 eco kills so far against DauT, DauT's still ahead in workers by 5. And seems like he's going to be able to finish the walls up over here, and he will be able to resume playing for the castle age. Fire's push is coming in right now with the extra archers. And DauT will, as long as he gets the walls up, he should be fine. This is overchopped though on the right hand side, and DauT does not pay attention over here and doesn't realize about this. This could be catastrophic. Oh! The quick balls come in just in time, but then he overchops another tree. My lord, the archers are coming in. This could be really good for Fire. We'll see if he can do much of anything. We have skirmishers coming out from DauT. That should be good against the archers. Then we have scouts over here from Fire as well. So the military count from the red player is so much higher compared to DauT's. But it seems like Fire's unit control is not the best, unfortunately, and he ends up losing the majority of the archers. And you know what? DauT's going to take the scouts down. He doesn't now losing yet another villager, so 6 villager losses for DauT still, but still ahead in worker count by 4, actually by 2 extra workers, 3 right now. Fire is unable to do enough damage over here despite what seemed to be an ideal position for him. Unit control was not the best. The archers got, for the most part, taken down by skirmishers that he shouldn't have suffered too much against. DauT manages to hold on to his lead. Manages to click out to the castle age faster. My lord. There we are. Beautiful. Up in the north, Fire managed to get a sneaky duck though. He's got fire galleys on the way. And this is the pond where DauT was collecting most of his fish from. And once again, DauT was just collecting from here completely, disregarding the possibility of a sneaky duck. So he didn't even have vision over here. Would definitely have liked for him to at the very least send one fishing ship over to this one, right? Or this one, so he would at the very least have vision if Fire went for a sneaky duck, but yeah. That's unfortunate for the Bull player. He's going to start taking a lot of losses after Fire gets a few extra fire galleys out. Or I guess they are called just galleys for Fire. I'm sorry, I'll see myself out. The second one's coming up. Okay. He's not going. He's not going to unleash these yet. Then down south. DauT's push is very strong still. He's got Volcano upgrade coming up and Knights on the way. Take a look at DauT's resources too. He could potentially make a play for the Imperial Age if he wanted to. He's got Japanese, so he could go for Arbalesters. But I would imagine he's probably just gonna get some eco upgrades and just try to play for a standard Castle Age most likely. Yeah, he's got the Crossman upgrade coming up, and there we go. Fire finally unleashes the fire galleys over there, and DauT's not paying attention at all. So Fire might end up taking a bunch of fishing ships over here before DauT goes for his own fire galleys, and he's got to go for fire galleys. He's got to go for the war galley upgrade as well to upgrade those to fire ships. So yeah, DauT is not necessarily out of this one yet, not necessarily out of the North Pond yet, but it's certainly not the best position for the Bull player for sure. And still, okay, there we go. He's finally going for fire galleys. He realized he's got a second TC on the way as well. While Fire doesn't, so DauT might be able to catch up for the fact that he might end up losing those fishing ships in the end just by going for extra villages from the extra TC. He's got some push, might get a village down over there. That was so close, he couldn't get it. Still looking better for the Bull player. Beautiful. This should go in favor of DauT for sure. He's got a hail advantage and a good amount of crossbows. So he doesn't end up taking this one. Fire. He's got more knights on the way, but then DauT, he's got his own knights on the way. So the thing for DauT is he's just gotta keep enough units. He's just gotta have enough units as a meat shield, and then the crosses are going to shred from behind. There we go. Monastery coming out for DauT as well to defend against the Knight push, and he was able to hold on to the North Pond. He still has a higher worker count. He will end up taking the village down over here and potentially the dock down very soon as Fire. He's just got fire galleys over here, and DauT's got the war galley upgrade, so these are fire ships, right? And Fire doesn't really have any demolition rafts on the way. Players are just trying to reset the HP of their armies. Yeah, the DauT's going down. For sure. Let's take a look at the engagement here. Once again, we need a good meat shield for that, and then the Crossers are going to take care of everything else from behind, right? He got a conversion. He's got to be careful. He needs a little bit of a choke point over here for sure, and the surroundings coming out from Fire. He's going to clean this up. Fire is going to get momentum on land. Is he? More conversions coming in this time around from Fire. Well done. He's left on about 10 knights over here, 11 knights over here. 13, 14 knights and counting. And that's just going for more monks over here. And in terms of defense, it doesn't really have too much. He's got a second barracks in the way to try and increase production of pikemen. She needs to research, by the way as well. There we go. Beautiful, more conversions coming up over here. That does manage to get the conversion over there. Here we are. Fire takes the siege workshop down and can keep on pushing. His military gun significantly higher than DauT's. The stables work 20% faster, so his knights are coming in pretty quickly. There we go. Good pressure from Fire still. His economy might not be quite as strong compared to DauT's, but it might not make too much of a difference. Good defense for DauT, going for the pikeman here. Might end up losing a lot of villagers anyway, though. The mobility over here is kind of playing against him. And Fire's taking full advantage of the knights over here to get extra picks. So far, this army of knights has gotten for Fire about 11 villagers, which is nothing short of amazing. And those are the villager picks that he was able to get before. Many of the knights went down, so it was probably even higher than that. Because Fire has gotten 24 eco picks so far from DauT, 25, right? The worker lead over here from DauT is vanished, and that is going to represent a lot of extra resources that DauT invested, especially after getting to the Castle Age and going for the extra PCs. He's not really been getting too much out of yet. That have not really paid off yet, right? So Fire's in a good spot. Nice conversion. Fire still holds on to the hill over here. He's hanging on to the hill like there is no tomorrow. The second TC is finally on the way from Fire. Because we have 3 TCs for DauT, he should be able to catch up in worker count as well without too many issues. And we see a castle attempt over here from DauT. I am not the biggest fan of this, but that is a lot of pikemen the DauT is bringing over. However, Fire's got cavalry archers over here. This might be a DauT castle. That is a good magna shot. In DauT's pikemen, they are completely out of position. Extra villagers going down. DauT's gonna keep on trying over here after he can get close to the cavalry archers. It's a struggle, but he should be able to close the gap because Fire doesn't want to leave the hill. So he gets pushed away right now not to lose the cavalry archers, and still DauT's castle is going to remain in foundation state over there, but that was a very nice pick from DauT. He gets a Magnal down. He's going to try to get another Magnal down over here. He's taking a lot of losses as well. He's gone down from losing 25 villagers to losing 45 villagers so far. The worker elite for Fire over here is substantial. He's going to be able to go for the Imperial Age very soon. And given the amount of stone miners Fire's got, once he gets to the Imperial Age, he's going to have a castle up to go for trebuchets and take the castle down from DauT. So DauT does manage to get the castle up, but it came at a huge cost. He is 25 workers behind. And Fire, well, Fire was very close to clicking out to the Imperial Age. And he decided against it instead. It's gonna keep on going for more military over here, which is going to give DauT a fighting chance over here. If Fire had clicked up to the Imperial Age and then he started producing military afterwards, right? He would have had enough stone to go for a castle before he got to the Imperial Age, and he would have had the head start in trebuchet production for sure. Fairer than 4 TC is coming up for Fire. DauT's still on 3, so is still trying to catch up. Still 25 workers behind though. There we go. The pikeman over here still putting a lot of pressure from DauT. And a big struggle for Fire to keep on putting pressure up over here. This is the most classic DauT thing. Being in a rough spot and silly with the castle. That is just too strong. Well, he's keeping out right now. Anyway, Fire should have this game. He should. Emphasis on should. You never know. Other archer armor is coming up. Beautiful. Doesn't seem like Fire's got too much pressure coming up anymore, just cavalry archers, right? So should be able to get the pikemen down over here, but it's unlikely to achieve too much of anything. He needs to roam around and try to get the villagers. That is a 4 TC for DauT, by the way, which is great. Now he's completely caught up in TC count to Fire, and Fire's ahead in working count still, but it's not the massive lead that he had before. It's 16 extra workers at this point in time. And because DauT was actually ahead in, you know, for the majority of the game, if you take a look at gather economy time, Fire has actually gotten a lead right now, a substantial gather economy lead over here. But it's not quite as much as you would expect it to be given the current villager difference. Thank you, Private Snowball, for your kind words. Appreciate it. Let's see if Fire can do any extra damage. Should be able to. There we go. He doesn't have ballistics, but it might not matter. Might not make much of a difference at all. He does end up getting a few villagers here. Yeah, the fishing economy has not been the best for DauT, but he does have Japanese fishing ships at the very least, so that helps, right? It's going to be more efficient right now. And there's a lot of villages going down for sure. Fire will be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon as well. Let's take a look. Which is DauT away from stone. Shouldn't take too long for Fire to eventually click up. He's got light cavalry and cavalry archers moving over the left hand side as well. There we go. Nice raid. Can't really do too much with the cavalry archers, but he will end up getting a few extra villages over here with the light cavalry. Beautiful. Making 18 fishing traps is awkward. It is. Eventually he's going to run out, right? He's got just 2 extra fish over there, and then on the right hand side he's got only about 2 extra deep fish, that is. Yeah, and Imperial Age is on the way now. DauT will be on his way to the Imperial Age soon as well, but Fire is going up significantly soon. Now take a look at this though, the 2 villager castle from DauT, of course. There we go, he's bringing a few extra villages now. There we are. I almost think he should not go up. Kind of seems like it, right? Because DauT's starting to put some pressure up himself over here. Fire doesn't really have too many military units to upgrade and take advantage of once he gets to the Imperial. It's just a fairly small amount of cavalry archers over here. Crossbows not really doing too much from DauT. But he's finally on his way to the Imperial Age as well. And wow, unbelievable. Can't believe DauT's actually pulling it off. There we are. Imperial Age is here for fire. And he's going for Bracer. Nice. Right hand side, the castle still putting pressure from DauT. Not really doing too much though. The CC's going down and fire still will be left on 3 TCs and DauT's gonna be on 4, so DauT might be able to catch up in worker count eventually because of it. Here we go. This could be really good. This is getting really close. This is getting close, and DauT's going to be in the Imperial Age very soon, but this raid is too strong. He's unable to hold on against it. Even the TCs over here won't shelter enough villagers for DauT to secure his economy. He's going to end up losing a bunch of extra villagers. So far, Fire has gotten 70 villager kills, while DauT has gotten only 16 at this point. Incredible. And the castle's coming up on the left-hand side as well. There we go, Imperial Age is here for DauT. 130 population to 164. Despite the fact that Fire got to the Imperial Age earlier, he took some time to get the trebuchets out, so he's got 3 right now. That should be enough for him to take the castles down from DauT, but because DauT's got 2 castles over here... Oh, wait! No, he actually just lost this one. What am I talking about? He's got just the 1 castle. Yeah, if he had 2 castles, he would have been able to go for double trebuchet production, right? But right now, it's not the case. Just 1 left. He's going down from DauT, and Fire still definitely the one in the driver's seat. That's just been able to hold on really well overall. And he might actually be able to get a few villagers over here. You know what? The TC does not have enough population space, or actually garrison space, actually. That TC goes down, we might see a bunch of villagers go down from Fire as well. Unbelievable! DauT is actually stabilizing. Goes back to work on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, he's got the TC on the way. And you know what? I don't really see a lot of pressure coming in from Fire anymore. He's kind of struggling for production. At the very least, he's not really producing too many units, even though he's got a good amount of resources right now. There we go, now with our ballistas, DauT's going after the villagers, and pop goes the weasel, fires, TC gets completely destroyed. Villagers come out, that is a lot of exposed economy. Fire will end up getting cleaned up over here though, by the looks of it, with the skirmishers. He was able to get some good damage done, still significantly behind by over 40 villagers. Anyway. One second, guys. I'm sorry. I need to take care of something real quick. Sorry about that. Need to take care of something, not like this is too close. Anyway. Fire is starting to pull ahead on his lead as well. So it's looking strong. Making 18 fishing traps is awkward, but arguably less awkward than the constant carnage in the rest of that economy. Yeah, if you're a villager over here, you're probably like, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind making a fish trap right now and being in a fishing boat. That sounds like a vacation actually. But yeah, you know what? DauT's starting to lose. A little bit of control around his own base, and Fire starting to finally build on his lead. So it certainly seems like this should be going in favor of Fire, and we are going to get a 4-game series at the very least, which I'm very much hoping for. At the very least, hopefully, ideally a full series, but we'll see. Here we are. Extra stables on the way now for Fire as well. It's kind of over, similar to what we saw in game number 2 as well. That's not calling it yet, because it's still on 100, over 100 population, I guess. So it's not as bad as it could be, but it's not going to be the case for much longer. Fire very soon will certainly knock DauT on the 100 population. DauT just calls it GG. There we go. So Fire takes game number 3, and this is a 2-1. Series so far, favoring DauT still. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. We'll see for military a nice KD for Fire, better than 3-2. Stronger economy as well, collecting about 11,000 extra, 12,000 extra resources. Higher villager count, max count over here for Fire. Higher worker count towards the end of the game as well. APM favors Fire, but not too much, but still a little bit higher for him. So let's go back. And we'll get a 4-game series. Let's go! Welcome you guys then, everyone, again, to another one. This is Nomad. This is one of Fire's home maps, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we have Portuguese for DauT. We have Spanish for Fire. We'll enable predictions for game number 4 as well, so you can cast your predictions for who you think is going to win this one for 5 minutes. The options are going to be open. Option 1, DauT. Option 2, Fire. For you to cast your prediction, of course. And it seems like Fire is going to get the TC up a little bit early. Actually, a lot earlier over here. He's playing with Spanish, so he gets 33% faster working builders. For Spanish, not only we get that, but also we're going to have 18% faster attacking gunpowder units. We get no gold cost on blacksmith upgrades, and team bonus is not going to be too relevant in a 1v1 for this specific civilization, and for DauT it's going to be similar as well. No relevancy for team bonus for Portuguese, but in a 1v1 that is. But they do get 20%. They get a 20% gold discount on military units, 10% extra HP on ships, faster research and upgrades as well. And for the most part, that's going to be the most important stuff for this map. This time around, we are completely surrounded. The land is not connected to the edge of the map anywhere. So far, not a lot of action in the prediction department. I would imagine a lot of people betting for DauT are probably scared to go after that again. But still though, 2 wins for DauT out of 3 games so far, not too shabby. Fire got the first win in game 3 only, so definitely still a long way for him to make it into the main event. He's got to get 2 games back to back. He's got to clutch it up and get the reverse sweep on the Lord. All DauT instead, well, he's got to get 1 win out of 2 remaining games with a current win rate of 66% against Fire from the previous games. Here we go. Nice pick.
Servidor.
And Fire's just taking the board from so far away. He was trying to go over the left-hand side one, but it got taken by DauT. That's 2 boards for DauT so far. This is going to be the second board, I think, for Fire. Nope. It's the first board for Fire, actually. He's been collecting from some of the ostrich on the left-hand side. 2.5 minutes left for predictions. 10-1 right now. Odds looking pretty good for DauT. Looking pretty good for you to potentially risk it for Fire as well, if you would like to play the odds, but
Monday.
Regardless,
Quais as vossas ordens?
we should see the players go up to the fuel H very soon. Lane civilizations, just so you know, the remaining civilizations for this map were either Saracens, Turks, or Spanish for Fire. So Spanish makes sense. You build the stuff faster, so you get the TC up earlier. You get a 1 villager lead. And DauT's got Gujaras, Britons, and Portuguese. And Portuguese have been historically the civilization from these 3 the most popular nomad maps. So I guess it does make sense from both these players. Now, if this goes in favor of Fire, the map left for game number 5 is going to be Arena. So yeah, Britons are going to be available to Fire, to DauT, sorry, Gujaras are going to be available to DauT, and Fire's got Turks still left, and Saracens still left. I think it's going to be Turks for sure. Saracens are not a bad civilization at all, still, but I would imagine he probably would have wanted to utilize Saracens on a map like this, or a hybrid, or water map, right? Even with the standard stat, because of the faster attacking galleys. Anyway, final minute left for the predictions. Final minute right now. Second dock on the way for Fire. DauT's gotten the second dock up over here. The difference is that Fire's got both these docks kind of next to each other in the great scheme of things. If you take a look at DauT, he's got 1 down the south and 1 up the north. So he's going for a third dock. That's going to be 2 docks down the south next to each other. He's going for it after he's got into the fuel H though. But the first Fire galley is coming out.
Servidora.
Bloom's coming in now for DauT as well. And Fire. Yeah, Fire's getting to the fuel H. Nice 4 tower coming in from the red player. That's gonna be completely caught off guard by this. If he was playing if he was playing Byzantines, probably not so much. With a free town watch, but with Portuguese, there's nothing really that's going to give DauT an indication of this coming out. So this is really good for Fire. He will not pushing DauT away. DauT already has a lumber camp on the left-hand side, so he'll be able to just move the villagers over to the left. And Fire instead, well, Fire is completely fine. There is no pressure coming out from DauT whatsoever. Instead, he's going to be focusing on water push, right? Because he got to the fuel H faster, he's the first player to get access to Fire galleys, and he's got a fishing ship down. He's going to go after more. That was the first kill in the game. First block, first wood, first resin. DauT gets it, and that's going to extend now to 3 eco losses from Fire to DauT's Fire galleys. Well, Fire's got his own navy coming up over here. DauT should be able to defend just fine, right? Up in the north. Does he have any Fire galleys coming up? Yeah, he does. Plus, down the south over here, he is sending some of the Fire galleys up in the north, so he should be able to defend himself. Meanwhile, the tower does come out from Fire, pushes DauT away, but DauT once again, because he already had the lumber camp over here, he just migrates the lumberjacks over to a different wood lane, and he's fine because of it. First wood sounds so wrong. I know. First resin, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. 2 Fire galleys from Fire moving on, and we have 1 chasing from DauT, and he's got his own Fire galley up in the north, and probably another one on the way, right? Because of the defender's advantage over here, DauT's already going to be on 2 Fire galleys, and then the one that's chasing the ones from Fire will be the third one, and DauT is going to be able to defend just fine against the red player's navy. Nice tower from Fire. He's going for another one. This army value for DauT seems to be kind of out of line. Okay, there we go. He's the lord, so it should be 777. Much better. Only possible because of the civilization he's got right now. So let's take a look. There we go. It's going to be 3 fire galleys. That's good. And check this out, by the way. DauT was soaking damage with the front fire galley not to lose the back one. And he ends up cleaning Fire's units. So he's going to be in a better position in terms of water control. He ended up taking the fishing ships down from Fire, getting actually 5 eco kills, and Fire ended up losing 6 eco units, so he probably ended up losing a villager to a boar or something at some point. Yeah, well, Fire is going for his own push. With towers, it does not seem to be anywhere near as effective as DauT's. Not only that, but DauT seems to have almost enough resources to click out to the castle age. All he needs is to get the buildings, of course. So we'll see. Nice quick wall over here from Fire, preventing the villagers from DauT from getting to the goal over here. But unfortunately, he had a little bit of an oversight over here that actually has more villagers than Fire, so he can push him away. There are no Berbers over here, no faster moving villagers. It's just going to be a pretty standard Ville fight. Yes.
Monday?
Here we go.
Servidora?
Beautiful. Fire's economy seems, how you say, bad. Absolutely. Compared to DauT, that is. It's not even close. And he's been able to get 2 villagers, 3 villagers over here from DauT so far. But he's still behind by 10 eco units. And that's going to be the fishing ships, of course. The fishing ships and a lot of idle TC time. A crap ton of idle TC time. Plus, Fire ends up losing a few villagers over here himself. That's gotta be careful. Ends up losing another villager himself over here as well and gets pushed away from here. But doesn't matter. He already has enough gold to click up. All he needs right now is enough food. And he'll be well on his way to the castle age while Fire's not even close. He's got almost enough gold for sure. But take a look at the food economy from Fire. He's got 2 food workers. He can't even queue villagers. He's 100% banking on the tower play to get him the game over here. And to be fair, he's been able to get some good damage over here. If not by taking villagers down, at the very least he was able to push villagers away from DauT. Still on the back foot though, Fire. There is no mistake in this. Is the one who's got to catch up. Because the tower rush strat shows the Fire thinks he can't win without cheese. At this point, he's kind of committed. I'm not really sure if he was necessarily going for that from the get-go. But after DauT got to the fuel age faster and he started putting pressure and Fire was unable to hold on against it, that was kind of became the only choice for Fire. The gears were in motion already and basically he just had to stick to it and just try to kick it out to 11.
Monday?
There we go, nice. Fantastic. There we go. Yeah, beautiful defense over here. DauT is preventing Fire from advancing on with this chain of towers, which means that the one option that Fire kind of had to potentially take this game is not really much of an option anymore. He's going to end up losing the tower over here. DauT is denying the tower coming up down the south over here from Fire as well, so it doesn't seem like the red player will be able to keep on putting too much pressure anymore. And even There was another tower coming up over here from Fire that DauT's probably going to be aware of already because he's got the outpost over here, right? Castle should be on the way for the Bull player very soon as well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a Castle GG over here. Once DauT gets up, Fire just calls a GG because honestly, what else can he do? He's got a good amount of towers up still. I guess he could potentially protect his economy and try to make a play for the Castle, but he's just so far behind. And DauT's reaction over here is fantastic. He brings a villager over. There we are. To be able to, if not take this tower down right away, at the very least prevent Fire from going for any extra towers behind this one or in front of this one. And in a minute and 50 seconds or so, DauT's gonna be in the Castle Age. He's got a stronger economy, a stronger military count right now compared to Fire. The red player did manage to get all the fishing ships from DauT, but DauT's been focusing on land for the most part so much so that he's not really tried to secure water control, right? It's just kind of let that one go and focus on land over here. He's been collecting stone quite heavily, so DauT should be able to go for a castle very soon as well. So even if Fire does not call the GG once DauT gets to the Castle Age, because of the amount of towers that Fire still has up, DauT should be able to go for a castle that would allow him to free most of the towers over here or to prevent Fire from keep on pushing anymore. And with Portuguese, once he starts going into organ guns, of course, that will put Fire in a very awkward spot. Finally, my internet is fixed. Hey Arbase, do you have a mainstream internet connection over there? Or not? I'm curious. Still trying to figure out which country to move to. But yeah, I'm hoping wherever I go, it's going to have better internet compared to what I have right now. But yeah. We pulled a new cable on Friday, but it didn't improve much. Ah, sucks to hear. Been there for sure. And there we go. This is the castle that I was talking about. If you take a look at DauT, once he gets Bakinaru, he'll be able to clean up all three of these towers. Get control of this gold once again. I think Fire should potentially push the villagers away. Nah, Fire doesn't have enough range to push the villagers away anymore. So it's not GG because Fire's tournament life is on the line. But DauT is quite clearly on the lead, and it's going to take nothing short of a miracle for Fire to come back from this one. And while he did perform pretty well in game number 3, game number 4 seems to be favoring DauT by quite a lot. And Fire, honestly, doesn't seem like he'll be able to go up to the Castle Age this game at all. We'll see organ guns come out from DauT. He's got a second TC on the left-hand side, right? And what does Fire have to work with? A few Fire galleys that he's probably going to end up losing in the end if DauT ends up going for the War Galley upgrade. He's got extra Fire galleys, so he should be going for War Galley eventually. And 30C for DauT as well, so the villager lead that we have for the Bull player is going to extend to massive amounts in the not too distant future. We now took out the router and put in a splitter instead, and that was the issue. Right. Yeah, I mean, this is very dominating from DauT. And just in case you are curious, Capucci versus Ito seems to still be going, so if this game is over, before that series is over as well, we're probably going to end up raiding Mem, I think. If he's casting that one, that is. I imagine that he is. There we go. See Workshop on the way for DauT as well. If I is getting kind of close to click out to the Castle Age. Man, there is so much catching up for Fire to do over here. Oh, man, casting Fire as well. Okay, okay. So I guess we're going to raid Dave probably. Hera. Okay. Regardless though, battering ram on the way. from DauT. And Fire might find himself in a game 2 kind of position again where he ends up losing the TC before he's even able to get to the next stage. But there is quite some distance over here for DauT to ramp to cover, and he's gonna need some defenses. So maybe Fire will get to the cast stage, but regardless, it's still a very precarious spot for the Brazilian player. If you take a look at gather economy time, 2 hours of extra gather economy time for DauT is amazing. Yeah, the towers are going to help. I guess that's probably the only reason that Fire is able to keep on going over here.
Ao seu dispor. Sim.
There we go. Nice push from DauT. Pushing villages away from wood. Man, Fire barely has enough resources as is.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim.
Yeah, and DauT's doing a really good job putting pressure over here. He should end up cleaning up the towers. Fire cannot really afford to repair this. He's got the resources, yes, but he shouldn't really be spending resources trying to repair the towers, which won't really make much of a difference at all. Instead, he certainly wants to have enough to go for the castle. And it's kind of risky for him to try and repair because of the organ guns over here as well. So he wants to have enough for a castle. And take a look at this! DauT's going for a 4 castle! This one is going to knock on Fire's door. Where are the villagers? Where are the villagers from DauT? There we go. He's sending the villagers over here. It's got 10 villagers coming in. And DauT, he's taking a lot of damage with the organ guns for sure, but these are quite tanky. He's gonna be fine. He's taking a bunch of villagers down over here when taking the towers down as well. And unlike in game number 3, there is no way for Fire to deny this one. So he calls that GG, says good luck next, and DauT moves on to the main event of Warlords while Fire gets knocked down in the qualifiers. Final score of 3-1 favors DauT. Let's go through the achievements. For the final one, we'll see that KD was much better for DauT, better than 3-2, while for economy, we'll see a stronger economy for DauT, collecting about 5,400 extra resources and change. Extra villagers to work with, right? He was a player to go for the most fishing ships. In the end, he added a few extra fishing ships after getting full water control, and that added into his economy. He was on 80, actually eco units, sorry, while Fire in the end was on 36 only, losing a bunch of villagers that he couldn't really afford to lose towards the end of the game. Certainly sucks for Fire, but that's going to be about it. Well played. DauT moves on